Linex protects. Does it though? I'm going over in my head how much I want to say and don't want to say about what I've got going on with this truck. Your first time to the channel seeing this truck, go back and watch other videos. I got a ton of other videos. I'll talk about everything I've done. Golly, now I'm seeing it here. This was a little tiny pinpoint, and I cut it all up, got past the rust, throw some paint on it, hoping to make it last during the winter. And there's about what I'm dealing with now. You can see how far this is stripping, at least out to here. So I'm pretty sure the rust is everywhere. And I can't afford a hole in my door. So that one, I have no idea why that one started. It was just rust started bubbling up underneath the Linex. No idea why. These ones, though, were because WFO originally sent the wrong length arms, and so the tires were impacting the fenders, impacting the doors. I had to do a whole bunch of crap to do that. That peeled the Linex up enough to let rust back in. Pretty sure, yeah, that feels like it too. That's got it too. And you can see the rust stains moving all the way down. I'm pretty sure the moisture over this wet, the fall, the winter, the spring has all been very, very wet. And the moisture just stayed in there because that's looking pretty rough. So I'm going to cut all that off today and play around with what I'm going to do. I mean, Linex itself, I love the product. It's freaking awesome. You can't see the pinstripes in this truck unless it's wet. And I have put this truck into the brush up there in the desert, up in the mountains. And you can't tell. It's been great that way. But this right here. The last time I was at my local Linex dealer, he said he wished he never met me. I kind of take those things seriously. And I run a business too. You don't say that to clients that have spent thousands of dollars with you. I mean, this was as expensive as a real paint job would be. Supposed to have been better lasting, supposed to have been better protecting. For the most part, yes. That, no. You know, my local Linex dealer, he didn't save anywhere what the tint color is. So it's not like I can take it back to him and have him just strip the door and redo the door. That won't work. He didn't keep records, and then he goes and says something flippant like that. When people say things like that to you, they're not joking. They may say, ha ha ha, they're not joking. So I'll make it real. He'll never see me again. I've got ideas of what I'm going to do next, but I have to strip this down, treat the rust, and actually give it some level of protection. We'll see how much I can get done today, because this is going to be an experiment for how to strip the Linex off. Where it's rusted, it's just going to come off. Watch. The rest of it, where it should be fairly sealed and still adhered, I don't know. We'll find out. So I had something in mind of why this was happening, and now it's confirmed. There is no sealer on this. There's no sealer whatsoever. It's just bare metal Linexed over. What in the world were they doing? This was always going to happen. It's probably happening everywhere on the truck, actually. I need to pull the handle out to be able to get this out, but mostly I can peel this stuff right off the truck. But I've got rust all up under this drip edge, rust over here. This is probably going to peel up, so I'm probably taking the entire door off today. This is a pisser. That was piss poor work, and I spent $7,000 on it. So yeah, I'm stripping the entire door, stripping it apart. If you haven't ever taken out these OBS handles, they're actually pretty easy. There's a screw on the back side here that comes in through the hole here. You just get yourself a long extension in through there. 10 millimeter, another 10 millimeter little tiny screw bolt. I mean, they are small. They're real small. Pull those out. This comes out. And you got the little mechanism here to release the latch. Go check it out on YouTube. You can find people that do way more detail than I just did there. But this was absolutely wrapped all the way inside here. So it had to come out to get that done. You can see there's the hole for the bolt. And there's the whole shape of the door handle pocket. It's just disgusting how much rust I have behind this door. It's disgusting to me that they thought they could actually do bare freaking metal. I'm cussing mad. I gotta watch myself. It's supposed to be YouTube friendly, right? I gotta peel everything. I gotta pull this strip out. And that's just the, what do you call that? That's a freaking, it's not really a seal, but it's a wipe. I don't know what you call it, but I gotta pull that out. Which means I also have to pull off the vent visor, all that kind of stuff. This whole door is getting sprayed today. This rain better not come. But yeah, I pulled that apart. Someone else showed me this one too, is that you pull these out for the latch assembly. It makes it a little easier for this to come free. I don't know if you have to or don't. I did. But I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to get to work on addressing this door. First things first, I got to treat this rust. I got to take care of that. It's got to be gone. Strip this first though, but here we go. Well, sometimes you learn by doing something stupid. Going up there, I was getting it, but I've got a dent there, dent there, dent there. I put a lot of dents up in there, one big one up in there. And by using that little pry tool to get under it, should have been using the power scraper the whole time. That puts heat into the panel, yes, but doesn't put dents like that other stuff. I'm just using a panel popper tool right there. At this point, what else is there to protect? Well, the answer to that is dents. I got dents now. So now, on to the next portion of this. Let's get this all cleaned up. Let's see if we can't get this rust out of here before I end up with a hole in my door. I mean, that is just ridiculous. The entire length of the panel off of one little freaking spot. And again, I have no idea how that happened. Where did that come from? How did the intrusion happen? I thought maybe it could have come from up here, but there's no trail. There would have been a trail of rust here. This obviously got into the seam and started wiping around the entire seam here down to there and there, probably at these corners where that seal wipe wasn't sealing. But this, I mean, just a spot right in here. Maybe when I was welding, a spark hit it and it just wasn't visible and it was enough to water to get in. I don't know. All I know now is I have a colossal mess to clean up here with. Oh, isn't that some good rust? All right, I'm going to clean it up best I can. between the DA sander and a red scotch brite pad, I've got most of the loose stuff off. Haven't washed it off or nothing like that yet. I will in just a second. Here the chopper's coming overhead, coming for the wounded, coming for the dead. Where is it? Not news chopper, not a life flight. We're right under the flight path of a life flight, so we usually see those. But either which way, I got to chemically treat this, and I'm going to try something interesting and different, not just your regular auto parts store stuff. There goes the life flight. I don't know if the other one was a different one or what. Eastwood is supposed to be the go-to for most DIYers. Most of the products from them that I've used I've really liked. We're going to see what this stuff does. Environmentally safe, it says. Will not harm seals, plastic, brass, rubber, vinyl, or copper. Okay, cool. Removes rust in as fast as 30 minutes. I did most of it mechanically. Now let's see what we can do chemically. Do the job right, they say. Wouldn't that have been nice? Wouldn't that have been nice if someone had actually done the job right and done an actual epoxy sealer before putting on their frickin' Linex? I'm pissed. I'm real pissed. It means I have to do the whole truck. I have to take it off of the entire freaking truck. Now I'm using 80 grit on my DA sander. Their scratches are way deep, and yes, that'll give it a lot of mechanical bite, sure, so that must mean they used 40? Which means fixing this, if you were to try to paint this with a real paint job again, oh my goodness, that's gonna suck. But I'm not going to, so I've got other plans. But it means I'm just going to, Saturdays that I do have available, I'm going to have to take one door at a time, one fender at a time, strip everything down, and then get it back to where it's actually sealed and coated again, and then worry about what my final coat's going to be. Alright, I'm talking because I'm pissed. I need to get working so I can get over being pissed and have this truck fixed. Alright, so the instrucciones on the bottle, and yeah, I do read those sometimes. It says you need to immerse and run, and so circulate. That's great for smaller parts, or leaving them in a bath. That's great for smaller parts. An entire door panel? Yeah, I can't do that. So I'm just wiping it, rewiping it, rewiping it, rewiping it. You can see it's doing some of the chemical reaction where it turns it black, which you're used to in a normal auto parts store style rust converter. But here, it actually removed most of it on the lighter stuff. I'm sure there's still some down there in the pits. I'm gonna, up there, nothing but a little bit in there of a stain, but it removed most of the rust. Pretty good on this spot. That one was pretty nasty. This spot was pretty nasty. It did pretty good on that one. I mean, there's still junk in there, and I suppose I could probably get it off, but that was just so rotten in there. Golly, that's bad. I'm going to try wiping that a couple more times, and then I'm going to go after it with some xylene to clean everything off before I actually coat the truck. Well, this door anyway. But I think I like this Eastwood stuff. It seems to have the right chemical reactions. You can see I put the PPE on because I'm not about to breathe anything in or soak anything into my skin that I don't know, I don't understand it, never used it before. Environmentally safe says they can, but I'm not taking chances. I'm guessing it could be citrus-based because there are some citrus-based stuff that is very, very powerful against rust. It just has the right chemical reaction with rust and iron oxide. Alright, back to it. And of course, as I get it masked off and I've got it cleaned off pretty well, Mother Nature decides to roll a thunderstorm in on me. Can't win for losing on this one. It stopped raining. I don't know if all of that is going to drop more rain on me or not. The thing comes in off those western mountains out there. Never know what's going to happen. Got it dried off, and maybe the water actually helped rinse off a lot of the other residue that I didn't get. I don't know, but went and washed it off one more time, letting it dry out. Luckily, when we rain here, it's pretty dry. Let's see if I can't get a coat of the primer on. And here's what I'm going to try. Their 2K Dura Spray epoxy primer, just in gray for now, but I've got a top coat for it too. Unlike the ones where you pop the bottom, this one supposedly, as long as it doesn't hit the air, the two parts stay apart. It's when they hit the air that they actually catalyze. Interesting technology, don't know how that works, but that is what I'm about to use on this. Gonna try it out for this one. My only fear is with this freaking thunderstorm rolling in and messing up my day, am I gonna be doing this whole door again? I hope not. I hope it's drying off and not. The rain has stopped. Now all you're hearing is just the stuff coming down the downspouts. I don't have a choice though. I've got it in bare steel. It's got to get done. So here we go. Well, rain stopped enough. One can coated that door. It's an epoxy primer. It should seal this thing up pretty well. I'm just worried about whether or not that thunderstorm's done. It seems to have rolled by. And if this will just dry, it definitely dropped the temperature, which isn't ideal either. But we'll see. I sure hope I don't have to do this again with this door. Hopefully this stops the rust where it needed to be. Nice thing about this primer is it did actually fill in a lot of those scratches that were left from their 40 grit freaking job on this. So that's nice, but you can also see all the dents and stuff up in here that I put in it. So next ones I peel off, I'm going to use the power scraper and not pry under like I did. That was my bad. It caused myself some more work, so later there'll be some Bondo going on to flatten that stuff out. It's not bad. Bondo will fill it in just fine. So I just sprayed on a can of this. I got one more can left. I wasn't sure how much I would need. Given that one can did that entire door, I'm guessing one can of this anthracite dust gray. That looks pretty charcoal to me. We'll see exactly how that goes, because this ended up being very white for a gray, which I guess is good for a primer. But we'll spray this on in a little bit as soon as this is actually dried. So started in with this stuff, shook it up, waiting 20 minutes because we're a little bit into the 60s, not the 70s, so not ideal temperature. Waited 20 to 30 minutes to be able to actually paint on top of the primer. And you can see I had the can jam. It will not spray now. It's full. It's full, and I shook the heck out of it all the time. The whole time I was waiting. It's a very, very dark gray. Anthracite dust gray, very dark. But the other things happened. Some raindrops deciding to come down again. So I'm just not having luck today with getting this done. It was a sunny day today. I thought it was going to be perfect. This may be how this door waits and then sits until I actually go after it again, because again, now I've created for myself a need for doing Bondo. The primer was excellent. I don't know if I've got the one can that's a factory defect or if this is something that's indicative of everything that happens for this 2K Dura spray. I don't know, you tell me, Eastwood. Does your stuff normally do this? Because that's kind of pissing me off. It's the kind of thing that makes me want to go get an HVLP gun and just quit trying to do everything with these. I'm not having fun with this. I'm straight up not having a good time. I don't know how I'm supposed to unjam this can. So I guess I'm done here. That's the way the door is going to look for a little while until I figure out what else I'm going to do. Since I can't get this can unjammed, I don't know any tricks or the trade for that one. It's just factory reject, what? I don't know. I'm going to strip the masking off and be done with this project. So stay tuned when I figure out the rest of it. I figure one can per door, so probably going to be one can for the panel, one can for that fender, one can for that door, so I need another 3 cans of this primer. The primer worked great. I liked it. If I get just better weather conditions, it'd be perfect. A couple runs because I'm rushing myself, but otherwise it laid down nice and it filled in a lot of those 60 grit scratches. Alright, you come this far, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.